Hello, Capricorn natives. I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, here to talk to you about the new moon on July 20th, 2020. And this is probably the second most significant period you're going to have all year because this is a Cancer new moon. Of course, a Capricorn new moon would be your most significant, but this one has great significance for you, really helpful for you for planting new seeds, for starting new projects and things like that, and having the energy to carry you through. Now, if you have been listening to some of the other videos for the different signs, then you might have been hearing me talk about this opposition to Saturn in very negative terms. But for you, this is your planet and it's in your sign. And so you actually are very used to this energy. When somebody puts an obstacle in your path, you say, oh, there's the obstacle. I've been waiting for this to be in my path. You're used to it. And so therefore, you're much more able to handle this. So I kind of jumped ahead a little bit, but let's talk about this new moon. So this new moon is at 28 degrees of Cancer in your 7th house. 7th house is about your relationships, the balance you have with others, all of the new people you meet, the people who like you, the people who don't like you, all of this that you're trying to attract with connections to others. And this is standing directly opposite that Saturn. And that Saturn is an authority that says, who you are as a person, what is your confidence level? How are you presenting yourself? And so are you being seen as very reserved? Are you holding back too much? Are you seen as the expert, as the person who knows what they're talking about? Are you seen as being too paternal? Are you seen as being too dictatorial? Or anything like that. Now, with an opposition, especially an opposition in the 1-7, you can take either placement. So you can be the person that is represented by the sun and moon and feel like everybody is judging you. But in actuality, it's just you judging yourself. Or you can stand on the other side and be this dictator judging others. Or you can use Saturn in the way it is intended. And that is to say that you're a responsible person who's competent, who's able to handle whatever situation is put in front of you. And because you have this confidence and because you trust yourself, then you can meet this wide variety of people and bring new people into your life because you know that no matter what happens, you'll know when you should stay in the relationship, when you should leave the relationship, whether the relationship's going to be beneficial, whether you're helping the person or whether they're helping you, or there's some balance to this. So all of this is about you really recognizing who you are, recognizing your own value, recognizing what you're good at, recognizing where you need to work harder and be more responsible. And when you do, this Saturn loves you. Now, you have had Saturn going through your sign for over 2 years. I was going to do math, but let's save myself that. So over 2 years, and it's going to be here just for another 6 months. And so you have this opportunity to work on your confidence now. And that is an opportunity you're not going to have again for another 28 years, which, that's a long time. So you really want to clear the blocks that are stopping you from being confident. Now, there's a lot of different types of affirmations, but one of the best type of affirmation is one that's based on your history, where you go back into your past and remember a time when you were confident, when you did demonstrate how you were the expert, how you knew what you were doing, and how you took responsibility. And then affirm that and say, all right, I've done this in the past. I know I can do it in the future. And when you do an affirmation like that, it's based in something solid and it really, really works. Now, because you are doing all of this energy about relationships, and this is, everything from love relationships to business partnerships to friendships, acquaintances, the influencer or mentor you want to meet, any of these people, that's the energy you're doing. The Mars is going to tell us if you're taking action and what kind of action you're taking. And the Mars is in Aries in your 4th house. It's going to be there for the rest of the year. And this says that you are probably working from home, which many of us are. But it's also saying that when it comes to going out in the world, and I use going out in the little air quotes because that might be a virtual going out, social media type of going out. The Mars in Aries in the 4th is saying that you're taking action more about reorganizing your spice drawer or things like that. The action does not line up with this opposition because the Mars is at 12 degrees and the opposition is at 28, so they're not making an aspect. And so this is when you should be reaching out and connecting with people. You are folding your laundry or you're puttering around the house or doing something else, and it feels like you're doing something, but in actuality, it's not doing something in relation to your goal. So what's really important here is to be very mindful when you take action. When you do that, then you're more able to connect with others. Now, when we look at relationships in general, and by that I mean now love relationships, you actually have some really good energy because besides the Uranus in the 5th house for that spontaneous spark, you have the Mercury, Sun, Moon in your 7th house. So if you're looking for love or you want to further your current relationship, you have really good energy. In addition to that, the ruler of the 1st and the ruler of the 7th are in opposition right now, which means you can come to a compromise point. That means, oops, new microphone, still getting used to it. That means that you can find somebody and who's going to be different. They're going to maybe have different aspirations, maybe a different schedule, maybe they come from a different background, but you're going to find the points together when you come together that you do have in common. And then the parts that are very different can be complementary parts, like maybe you're low tech and that person's high tech. And so you come together where you're baking the bread and they're networking your printer and things like that. When it comes to home, family, and your house, you are a little bit out of sync. I mean, you're taking a lot of action because the Mars is there. Maybe you're doing repairs on the house. Maybe you're decluttering, which is always good. Maybe you're doing a lot of activities at home, but it's not making an aspect with the Saturn. And so right now, if you are, say, looking for a new house or things like that, it's not going to feel that easy to do because the connection's not there. The same with connecting with your family. Your schedules might be off or things are just not syncing up. So it's something where you just need a little bit of patience. The same goes for your career. While the ruler of your midheaven is in the 6th house, which is really good, which means you have a better work environment right now. You are getting along better with your coworkers. You're getting more support from immediate managers and things like that. It is still a little out of sync because the Venus is not making an aspect with the Saturn. And so you're going to find that the timing's off, that it's hard right now to maybe ask for a better project or get a better desk chair or things like that. So it's you can do it, but you have to be quite mindful, and it's just not as automatic as usual. But even that doesn't stop the good feelings you're going to have having that Venus in the 6th. Things are just going to feel better right now. When we look at your money, you are pulling money from that Uranus in the 5th house, as well as the co-ruler Saturn. And what that means is as you are taking risks, and of course you're Capricorn, so you're going to take calculated risks. As you're taking risks and you are putting yourself outside of your comfort zone, you can make some money. So that's fantastic news. The Saturn, of course, says as you take responsibility for your finances, as you really account for what is going out, what is coming in. As you pay attention to it, your money can grow. Now, when we look at passive income sources, that is royalties, residuals, affiliate marketing, and things like that, as well as business income, we don't have you quite in sync right now. This means you're going to make about what you made in previous months, or your average month. Not so much accumulation is happening. This is because the Uranus is not making an aspect with the Sun. That energy is going to change, so you're going to have periods where things get better. Now, I should point out, though, that you do have an aspect, a very good, strong aspect with the Sun and the co-ruler of your second house. So I may actually have to eat those words I just said before. You may be accumulating money actually at a better clip than usual. So leave me a comment in the comment section below after you've seen this video and let me know what your experience is, whether you are really activating that co-ruler and accumulating money, or if you do feel like, you know, you're sending out the invoices but things are not actually getting paid yet. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, now we have multiple aspects going on. If we take the co-ruler of the second with the ruler of the 11th, we have a conjunction. That's fantastic. If we take the co-ruler of the 11th with the ruler of the second, then we have an aspect, semi-sextile. And so I know that was a lot of astrology technical terms there, but what it boils down to is I do expect you to be making more money than your average month. This could mean that you've started working again, you're getting more hours, or that you're actually getting some sort of money from commissions or things like that. So I do see there is opportunities when it comes to working for someone else. This also means that perhaps you have a second job and that's bringing in some money. So the prospects for making money derived from career is very good this month. And then finally, when we look at your windfalls, and that's where you take risks and things like that, you're doing the semi-sextile, which is an aspect, so we do count it. So there is a possibility to accumulate money through taking risks, but it is just a semi-sextile. Now, a semi-sextile would mean kind of stepping outside your comfort zone, doing things that irritate you just slightly, and that's what brings the money. So it might be that idea of maybe you don't want to do a lot of networking right now. Maybe you feel like you want to, you know, work on the structure of your business or work on the organization or the supply chain or something like that. But this does say that if you are doing something that's a little outside your comfort zone, which might be reaching out to influencers or just connecting with past clients or something like that, that's the kind of seed that would actually bring the windfall, where you might find some super networker who tells everybody they've ever met how wonderful you are. Something like that can occur, but it is when you pull yourself out of your normal comfort zone. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Stay tuned to the end. There is some footage of LaRue for LaRue lovers, and I'll see you in the next video.